Blue Sox baseball is back. Live from Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field, this is the PGCBL on Pink the Park night. The 23-16 Utica Blue Sox host the 15-22 Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs. Hello, everybody, and good evening. Welcome to Blue Sox baseball. Alongside Killian Heffron, I'm Morgan Spriggs. The Blue Sox coming off an 8-6 win at Utica last night for their 7th victory in their last 8 games. And the Blue Sox are facing a free-falling Mohawk Valley squad. Killian, what were your takeaways from the Blue Sox coming out with a triumph last evening?
Well, my takeaway from that game, Morgan, was that the Blue Sox are really playing their most complete baseball right now. We've seen them have trouble a lot this year against Oneonta, and the fact that they're able to put together a complete game and take down the Outlaws in a high-scoring affair has to really up their momentum, because if you're Utica coming into this stage of the season, you're thinking about playoffs, right? And getting over teams that you've had trouble with all year, that's going to do wonders for their momentum as they approach the final couple games here in the regular season.
Well, the playoffs have already been clinched for the Blue Sox, but as you take a look at the PGCBL standings, Utica is chasing Saugerties. In the final 4 games, the Blue Sox are 1.5 back of the Stallions for the 2 seed, and Mohawk Valley is desperate to break their 8-game losing streak. They are behind the Outlaws. And now back to the discussion. Killian, John Regas went 5 2/3. He struck out 7. He exited in a 3-3 game, so no decision for him. What did Regas' performance show you about him and the pitching staff as Sangatalo readies to pitch tonight?
Well, Regas' performance, as usual, was dominant up on the mound, only conceding 5 hits with 3 runs. Now, all of those runs were earned, but he had multiple multi-strikeout frames, being the 1st, 3rd, and 5th, and the relievers that came in after him were able to take that momentum and really run with it. And you know that Vinny Sangataro is going to consider that the standard, and he's going to want to continue that momentum and ride through it as the Blue Sox try to shut down Mohawk Valley, who are really moving in the desperation mode towards the end of the season, trying to fight back into the playoffs.
In the final few games of the season, we are also on record watch. Killian, what do you have? Some Blue Sox that could tie or take the record all to themselves in the final couple games?
Well, I'm looking at Jack Sweeney first and foremost. He's not in the lineup tonight, but he sits at 8 homers on the year. If Sweeney is able to hit 1 more home run before the conclusion of the season, that would tie the Blue Sox single-season franchise record. If he's able to hit 2, he would become the first Blue Sox to hit double-digit home runs in a single season and set the record. So you know, if he's in the lineup for the rest of the year following the conclusion of the game tonight, he is going to be really chasing for that record, because who wouldn't want their name etched in the history books?
I know. John Regas has his name etched in the history books for the Blue Sox. He's now tied for 5th all-time in Blue Sox history for single-season strikeouts. He accomplished that last night. Also, Peritano's had a great season. He's 2 RBIs away from being top 5 in career history in runs batted in. Well, it's the Blue Sox and the Diamond Dogs, 2 teams going in opposite directions, and we'll get you first pitch and lineups coming up on the other side of the break.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise, if you are able, and kindly move your hats as we honor America and the great men and women who protect this country and fight abroad with the singing of our national anthem. Tonight's colors are being presented by the Notre Dame Junior ROTC Color Guard. Here to perform the Star Spangled Banner, please welcome Karen Griffiths.
What was I can't do thee?
We're back at Donovan Stadium at Murnane Field with Killian Heffron. I'm Morgan Sprague. The Blue Sox hosting their 8th annual Pink the Park Night as we celebrate the survivors of breast cancer and bring awareness to the disease. As we're having the first pitch, ceremonial first pitch of tonight's game coming from a breast cancer survivor. It's wonderful to have everybody in the park tonight. We have a great crowd on hand. And Killian, before we get to the starting pitcher for tonight's game, what is your thoughts on the weather, how that's going to affect the game, if at all?
Well, we had some pretty intense gusts out towards right field earlier on in the day. They've died down, but they're not fully gone away. We've had a few moments here and there over the last 10 minutes of winds picking up pretty significantly. And I think for the wind in this game, you can expect that to continue. There's not going to be anything really consistent. It's just going to kind of be a matter of timing. Whoever is able to hit the ball and maybe get a little help from the wind, because at some points the wind's been blowing out. It's kind of veered in direction a little bit over time. If there's ever a day to hit homers on a Murnane Field, this would be the one with how intense some of these gusts have been.
And now let's take a look at the starting pitcher for tonight's contest. For the Blue Sox, it's Vinny Sangataldo.
Well, Sangataldo coming into this one with 20 innings pitched on the year and a low ERA of 1.8. He's been one of the Blue Sox best pitchers on the season. 1-2 with 2 credited losses to his name, and both those losses came earlier on in the season before the Blue Sox got hot. So for Sangataldo in this situation, this is exactly where he wants to be, and what an opportunity it is to take down a team like Mohawk Valley fighting for their playoff lives.
This is Sangataldo's second start of the year and 7th overall appearance. Now taking a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Diamond Dogs, who are trying to break an 8-game losing streak, and here is how they stack up with the bats. They are batting 9 this evening. Blue Sox are going with 10 batters. So here it is, the lineup. First leading off in center field is Jay Hardy. Then it's Kyle Coleman, the left fielder, batting second. Connor Scanlon, the first baseman, batting third, followed by Brody Frecker, the designated hitter. He bats cleanup. Then it's Jake Dolan, the right fielder, batting fifth. Aiden Streeter, the third baseman, batting 6th. Roberto Valdez batting 7th at second base. Ryan Payne, the shortstop, batting 8th. And Jaden Santiago rounding out the lineup, batting 9th. He is the catcher. And killing it, Jake Hardy is one of the most threatening players in the Diamond Dogs lineup, and he starts it right away. He's coming in with a 372 average, 14 doubles. That is well ahead of all the other Diamond Dogs, and 2 home runs. Hardy is really going to be a big batter for San Cataldo to get out early. Would you agree?
Absolutely, and we highlighted him last night during the first episode of Blue Sox Banter. He is a deadly hitter for Mohawk Valley, and if the Diamond Dogs are going to get off to a fast start in this game, they better hope that Hardy's able to be on, because if he's having an off night, it could spell disaster for Mohawk Valley in front of this very packed crowd. We still have a whole line of people coming into the stadium that haven't gotten their tickets scanned yet. It should be a great environment.
It's going to be one of the best crowds of the year, up there perhaps with some of the earlier crowds this season. I think opening night and the Kids Day Out game. But Pink the Park night is always a fun time at Donovan Stadium, and we have the 8th edition here this evening. The Blue Sox, in the previous 7 contests of the Pink the Park night, 6-1. Their lone loss was the first time they did it. It was against the Watertown Club, the Watertown Rapids. And Watertown is no longer in the PGCBL. So we mentioned Jake Hardy just before this first pitch, and here he is leading it off. Second best batting average on the Diamond Dogs. And he's looking to set the tone for a skidding Mohawk Valley team fighting for their playoff lives in the final week of the year. San Cataldo ready. First pitch is rolled foul, and away we go with strike 1.
And Hardy, it looks like that one caught him in the foot there. He's kind of taken a couple of steps, having to walk that one off. And so early on, this might affect Hardy, as he's going to have to fight through the pain for the remainder of this first at-bat. And you know San Cataldo's aware of that fact here, as the Blue Sox donning their specialty Pink the Park night uniforms with the pink accents.
Yes, it is a white uniform base with pink sleeves and other baby blue accents. It's a beautiful jersey. The 0-1 pitch is lined into left field, and Jake Hardy gets the night started with a base hit on the second pitch he sees. Now taking a look at the defense for the Blue Sox. Miller is behind the plate catching for Vinny San Cataldo. R.J. Tomei at first base, Flashner at second, Peritano at shortstop, and Francella is at third. In the outfield, left to right, Fernsler getting the start in left, Jones in center, and Carvelli in right. Now, go ahead, Killian.
It's a very standard lineup from manager Doug Dillette here in Pink the Park night. He's going with what works.
First pitch is in there for a strike, 0-1.
And he's aware that he's got his best hitters in. You got Smith and Peritano. Sweeney not in the lineup tonight, but very capable here for the Blue Sox.
A high drive into center field. Jones ranges back and catches it over the shoulder for out number 1. That was hit well. Maybe on a windier night with the gusts blowing out to center, that could have been gone, but it goes down as a flyout for Kyle Coleman, and it now brings up Connor Scanlon, the first baseman.
Now batting first baseman number 9, Connor Scanlon.
Scanlon from Holmes, Pennsylvania, goes to college at Fairfield. 33 RBIs in his last season in college. So 1 out with Hardy on at first. And San Cataldo's first pitch to him. It's taken low into the glove of Caleb Miller for ball 1.
And San Cataldo's just got to get over this little early hump he's facing. Had the hard contact twice that resulted in the base hit and that fly out.
And that's in on the hands. A trickler. Peritano has to make a tough sidearm throw from short, and he delivers for out number 2. Peritano pulled in the middle of the infield, fires it on to Tomei, 2 gone.
Well, a smart decision there by Peritano not to try to look back for a second. He knew that the runner was going to beat him, kept his eye on first the whole time, and delivered a beautiful strike to get that second out.
Here's Frecker. .324 average, 6 doubles, and 3 homers for the cleanup hitter. First pitch is low and outside. Miller has to slide to keep the pitch in front of him, 1-0. So Hardy now in scoring position. Chance for a run batted in for Frecker. He has 18 on the year. The 1-0 from Vinny is lined up the middle into right center field for a base hit. Hardy rounds third. Jones won't try to throw to home. And Mohawk Valley starts off the game with a run in the top of the first. It's 1-0 on an RBI single for Frecker.
Well, Morgan, this is what we kind of figured was going to happen. Mohawk Valley fighting for their season here, as a loss here very well could ultimately eliminate them if Oneonta is able to take care of business. So Mohawk Valley needed that right there. And they're on the board. Let's see how the Blue Sox can fight back as Utica tries to get that home game in the 2 seed.
Now it's Jake Dolan, another player with a high batting average, .354. Swings away and grounds the first pitch to shortstop, and the throw to Flashner covering at second for the force play, retires aside. Mohawk Valley gets 1 in the top of the inning. Blue Sox trying to respond when we return. We're back in the bottom of the first, 1-0 Diamond Dogs, and now taking a look at the starting pitcher. For Mohawk Valley, it is Hayden Strout. Killian, what do you have?
Well, Strout has only pitched 7.1 innings on the year, 1 credited loss. ERA not the greatest at 9.82, but the 11 Ks tells you that he can get you guessing. And so Utica's going to have to keep an eye on the ball tonight because he likes to fool you. He can change up his pitches quite often, and the Blue Sox hitters are going to have to be sharp if they want to make contact with him. But another thing with him is that if Utica is able to make contact, they tend to be particularly good at it. And he does give up a ton of runs usually.
Emblematic of that, his earned run average that he's trying to get down today, and he has to face this lineup from Doug Dillette. Here's how the Blue Sox stack up with the bats. Michael Flashner leads off at second base. Kevin Francella plays third base. He bats second. Then it's Paratano at shortstop, batting third, followed by Xavier Smith cleaning it up at the EH role. Connor Jones batting fifth, followed by R.J. Tomei batting sixth. Robbie Carbelli, the right fielder, batting seventh. Bowden Fernsler with a rare chance to play left field, batting eighth. And it's Jack McWilliams, the DH, and Caleb Miller, the catcher, rounding out the order. And, of course, Flashner leading off as usual. No surprise, Killian. I think the only surprise is that Sweeney has a day off, given how hot he's been. But it is a well-deserved day off, given what he has done in the lineup all season long. First pitch to Michael Flashner is inside for ball one, and the bottom of the first is underway.
And you look at this lineup here, Morgan. This is a very heavy lineup for Utica. These are all their big hitters minus Sweeney. Definitely a message sent here by Dillette that we want this game. We want to knock you out of the race.
That pitch is dropped in for a strike, a nice breaking ball from Stroud. It's 1-1. Interesting to note for the Diamond Dogs defense, Streeter at third base is playing closer to home plate, possibly anticipating a leadoff bunt. No bunt attempt here on a 1-1 pitch that finds its way outside the zone, 2-1. Flashner excellent with speed, stolen bases, small ball, huge part of his game. So wouldn't be surprised to see him drop down a bunt to get on base early. The 2-1. He bounces one up the middle. It deflects off the mound. Payne with the throw over to first from shortstop for out number 1. And here's the Mohawk Valley defense for tonight's game. Santiago catches for Strout. Then it's Scanlon at first base, Valdez Jr. at second. Payne just made that throw at shortstop. And Streeter at third. In the outfield, left to right, Coleman, Frucker, and Dolan. So a first pitch ground out for Flashner. And now it brings up Kevin Francella, who's at third base. A little more about Strout. He's a lefty, so interesting aspect to his game as he throws a first pitch strike compared to a lot of righties the Blue Sox have seen. He goes to college at the University of Southern Miss and is a New Englander from Charleston, Maine. At USM this last year, he had a 2.86 earned run average. The 0-1 pitch is outside on a fastball high, 1-1.
And Morgan, we were saying this during the break, with the urgency that these teams are playing at, it feels like a playoff game. Both teams not wanting to make any mistakes and wanting to get their offenses out hot early.
That is in there for a strike, a breaking ball at the lower part of the zone, 1-2. On the second batter for the Blue Sox, Francella. Well, the Blue Sox have already clinched a playoff spot, but they want to move up from the 3 seed to the 2 seed, which would mean a home game in the first round of the East playoffs. The 1-2 pitch is outside, 2-2. For Mohawk Valley, they are actually fighting for their playoff lives. It is them and the Outlaws, who the Blue Sox beat last night, battling for that 4th and final playoff spot in the division. Bases empty, infield back with 1 gone. And the 2-2 pitch to Francella is rolled to third, but foul outside the bag. And we'll do it again.
And for Mohawk Valley, statistically, if they were able to win this game, they should get help in the Oneonta game as they're playing Saugerties. Saugerties has been red hot as of late.
Blue Sox trying to catch the Stallions, 1.5 games behind Saugerties for the 2 seed. 2-2 the count. Strout set, and the southpaw's pitch. Sprayed foul to the right side, and out of play, and over the nearly full right field bleachers. One of the best crowds all season. Attracted not only by the Pink the Park Night promotion, but how well the Blue Sox have been playing. Utica has had an excellent July. They won 7 out of their last 8. Another 2-2 pitch is a ground ball, picked at first. Taking it himself to the bag for the out is Connor Scanlon. 2 gone. So an unassisted out at first base for Francella. Now here comes Paratano. He does not have a chance to have more than 1 RBI because there's nobody on base. And I mentioned that because in our open, we talked about Paratano being 2 runs batted in away for having the most, rather for having in the top 5 RBI totals for a Blue Sox player in career history. So Paratano trying to get in the top 5 today. He nearly gets hit on the first pitch, 1-0. Anthony's had a great season. His power has slowed down. He has not hit a home run since he was injured and was out for about a week. Still stuck on 5 long bombs, but it's still been an incredible season for Anthony, trying to get into an exclusive club in Blue Sox history. The 1-0 is outside, 2-0 from Strout.
And Paratano also, it's worth mentioning that he's approaching this record while arriving late to the team at the season. You wonder that if he had the full season without the injury and without arriving late, he could potentially already be at number 4 or number 3 by this point.
The 2-ball pitch is bounced into right field, and it's a base hit for Paratano. The Blue Sox get their first knock of the game. Comes with 2 out and none on in the first. Utica trying to mount a miniature comeback, down 1-0. Blue Sox have been known to have more comeback wins as of late than earlier in the year. And 1-0 for them is nothing to scoff at. Here's Smith. Before the first pitch is thrown to him, pickoff attempt to first base, where Paratano resides.
Well, Paratano, they're going to have to keep an eye on him. He's one of the Blue Sox most explosive players. Doesn't tend to steal as much, but when he gets off, it's really hard to catch him.
It's 0-1 on the X-Man. Paratano with 8 stolen bags on the year. His speed may not be his most impressive quality, but it is a very solid quality. The 0-1 is nicked foul to the backstop, 0-2. So Paratano has speed along with his power bat, and he's on first base. Maybe he'll try and swipe it to get in scoring position for Smith, though there is 2 strikes on the X-Man. 1-0 Mohawk Valley, and the 0-2 pitch is bounced low, and it gets away from Santiago, and a wild pitch advances Paratano to second. So Anthony doesn't have to steal to get in scoring position. He just takes advantage of the wild offering.
This is ideal here for Smith. We've seen Xavier Smith be the clutch man in a number of situations this year with 2 outs. Now the runner in scoring position, opportunity for him to really do some damage.
Strout set. And the lefties 1-2. Is popped up. Shallow right. Dolan moves in. And from second, Valdez makes the catch for out number 3. Blue Sox strand 1. It's 1-0 Mohawk Valley through an inning. We're back in the top of the second. Mohawk Valley leading 1-0 against the Blue Sox. Must-win game for the visitors, trying to break a long losing streak. And they'll have 6, 7, and 8 against San Gotardo in the second, already with the advantage on the scoreboard. First, it is the third baseman, Aiden Streeter. And the first pitch is in for ball 1.
And the Blue Sox are continuing to play with quite the big hole in the center of the infield. That burnt them at one point during the top of the first.
That's where Hardy hit his single. He came around to score. It's now 1-1. Now a 1-1 pitch is off the end of the bat and foul along the right side. And it's 1-2 on Aiden Streeter. He used the Taco Bell K-Man today. If he strikes out, free Taco Bell for anybody in attendance that wants a voucher. The 1-2 pitch is popped up along first. Is there a play? There's a chase going to the bullpen, and the ball drops out of reach. Tome and Carvalli were both running for it and couldn't make the play. Aiden Streeter is from Scotia, New York. At American International College last season, 19 RBIs and a .240 average. So Streeter leading off the inning for Mohawk Valley in a game they really want to come out victorious in. The 1-2 again. That pitch is in there. Strike 3, he rung him up. And one gone in the top of the second. Free tacos for everybody on a strikeout looking for Aiden Streeter. That's the first K for San Gotardo.
And you know, Morgan, I think that might be the longest hold there that PA announcer Tim Best has had on the season. I was kind of waiting to see how long he was going to go with that.
Celebration echoing throughout the ballpark.
At least 4 seconds.
Here's Valdez swinging away at the first pitch. That's softly hit. Got to be a close play. And Francella is up to the challenge. He throws him out from third. 2 gone. Now here comes Ryan Payne, the shortstop. On the season, Ryan Payne taking a look at his batting average. It's not been great for him this year. An 11 games started before tonight. 132 average, which is 5 hits. No extra base knocks. Payne takes the strikes. Let's see what he can do against San Cataldo. So Vinny's found a little bit of his rhythm, it seems, after giving up a first run in the opening inning. Lined up the middle, base hit. And Payne gets his 6th knock of the year. And the hole in the middle of the infield burns the Blue Sox once again. That's the 2nd single hit towards that part of the field.
We'll have to see if Doug Dillette decides that maybe this is the point to change that up and start putting it a little closer together. We've already seen Mohawk Valley pick that spot out twice.
After a 2-out single by Ryan Payne, here comes Santiago. If you look at the defense, Flashner is playing a little closer to the second base bag than Paratano. Both are playing on the dirt. Tried to check, and he went around. Strike 1 to Santiago on the breaking ball in the dirt. San Cataldo found a bit of a rhythm in the second despite giving up that 2-out knock to Payne. A Streeter struck out, first K for Vinny. And then a first pitch out to Valdez. It's now 1-1, the count to Santiago. On deck is Jake Hardy, and San Cataldo does not want this inning to get back to him with runners on base. The 1-1 is a hopping ground ball. Francella shuffles his feet at third, guns the throw to first, and Tomei squeezes out for out number 3. 1 hit and 1 left through 1.5, 1-0 Mohawk Valley. We return in the bottom of the second inning with Killian Heffron. I'm Morgan Spriggs. The Blue Sox trailing 1-0 in the home second frame. And Killian, what have you seen from the Blue Sox so far in this contest, a game with playoff implications for both sides?
Well, I've seen more from Mohawk Valley that they're playing very urgently. You get the feeling that this is essentially a playoff game for them because that's how they're playing. Utica's, it seems like they were kind of surprised by that almost. They're having to match that intensity early on. And so now with an inning and a half in the books, how does Utica adjust as they face Strout?
Connor Jones leads off for the Blue Sox in this inning against Hayden Strout. It'll be Jones, Tomei, and Carvelli. CJ in the box, ready for the first pitch. He takes the opening pitch for strike one. Connor Jones been such a leader all season for the club. Excellent defense in center field. And the 0-1 pitch is outside, 1-1. Connor Jones from George Washington. His hometown in Greenwich, Connecticut. See what he can do to lead off the inning. He tails a 1-1 pitch slowly to short, and Payne with another nice throw. He fires it into first for out number one to open up the inning.
Man, Payne has been a black hole at shortstop early on. He's had to make some challenging plays and get some challenging reaches, and he's just bringing in everything and delivering it to first with pure efficiency. Excellent job early on for him.
Brings up R.J. Tomei. 280 batting average for him, 6 extra base hits, 4 doubles, 1 triple, 1 homer. First pitch to R.J. Drops in low from Strout. It's 1-0. Tomei, one of many players with 20 or more RBIs on the Blue Sox. He has 23. The 1-0 pitch is called for a strike in the lower outside corner. It's 1-1. Other players with 20 or more runs batted in. There is a lot of them. Paratano has 26. CJ and Flashner have 21. The 1-1 pitch is in the air to center field. That has some carry. Now more towards right center. Brody Frecker backpedals and makes the catch. 2 out. To finish up that thought, the leader in RBI, Jack Sweeney with 31. So the Blue Sox trying to avoid going in order in the second. Up to the task, Robbie Carvelli, the right fielder, after the fly out to center. Carvelli, .262 average. First pitch is a fastball off the corner, 1-0. Hayden Strout trying to test if Carvelli would swing at that high pitch, and Robbie held off. The count slightly in Utica's favor here. It's now 1-1, a fastball on the inside edge to level the ball strike count. It's 1-1.
Strout's been using that fastball inside quite a bit today, kind of backing the Blue Sox off the plate and then attacking them outside like that right there.
Didn't get a swing, and Strout shifts the count to 2-1 with that off-speed delivery. Blue Sox trailing early 1-0. And the 2-1 pitch is in on the hands, lined back to the screen, 2-2. That RBI came in the first frame for Mohawk Valley as Brody Frecker singled in Jake Hardy from second base. Mohawk Valley has lost their last 8 contests, desperate to catch Oneonta in the standings for the 4th and final playoff spot. Meanwhile, the Blue Sox, a red-hot month of July, 14-3, their record this month. The 2-2 pitch. Line foul to the right side and over the visiting dugout. Bit of an overcast night, a little chillier than recent games here at Donovan Stadium. Some gray clouds overhead with a slight wind. Strout set, and Hayden's 2-2 again. Is lined up the middle, it kicks off his heel and into center field, and Carvelli with a 2-out base hit, so the Blue Sox do not go in order in the second. They keep the inning alive as the order shifts to Bowden Fernsler.
Well, the Blue Sox today have not been able to advance a runner with a hit. Their only runner that advanced on a day was Anthony Paratano, who advanced on a wild pitch that was thrown to Xavier Smith, who later popped out. Utica looking for their first hit with runners on base today.
Fernsler in the batter's box. Takes the first pitch outside, 1-0.
And Morgan, you mentioned the weather. We did just have a brief rain shower go north of the stadium. There is another one coming out of the southwest right now. It's currently trekking towards Murnane Field.
Fernsler with a grounder to second, picked up by Valdez, and he gets the force play at second to end the inning. Through 2 frames, 1-0 Mohawk Valley. we return in the top of the third with the Diamond Dogs holding a 1-run lead. And Killian, you talked a little bit about the weather before the inning ended, giving you a chance to finish your thought and how it may impact the weather as Vinny Sangataldo faces Hardy in the third inning. Killian, what do you have?
Well, we have a rain shower moving in from the southwest right now. It's headed towards the stadium. Now, we shouldn't be seeing any delay. There's no thunder or anything.
First pitch is low for ball one.
But as this field is turf, it's going to force these teams to adapt in the wet conditions when they happen, which will probably be in the next 15 minutes or so.
Sangataldo evens up the count with a fastball in the lower part of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mohawk Valley, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. And the 1-1 pitch to Hardy, who has 1 of those hits. It's 2-1 now on a fastball away. Blue Sox, no runs on 2 hits, no errors for them as well. The 2-1 pitch, and Hardy laces one into left field down the foul line. It is Bowden Fernsler from his post in the outfield to catch the out. 1 gone in the top of the third. Now brings up Kyle Coleman. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to Connor Jones in center his first time up. It was really well hit. Off the bat, it looked like it could go for extra bases, possibly even a home run. Maybe on a windier day that would have been true, but instead it was out number 1. Coleman settles in against Sangataldo, working his third inning in his second start, and the first pitch is in for a strike. Kyle Coleman goes to college at Belmont. He's a Georgia native from the Peach State. Sandy Springs, Georgia is where he calls home. The 0-1 pitch to him is low for ball number 1, and the count is even. The infield from the Utica Blue Sox is playing deep near the Gross Flashner, but has a toe on the dirt. Ground ball, shortstop, easy play for Peritano. And he makes it look routine. The throw to first in time, out number 2.
Morgan, something about ground balls to short. There's been a ton of them early on this game between both teams. Peritano's gotten quite a bit of work, and he's made it look easy every time. And that's something we've seen from him all year. He's been very consistent in the field and continuing to do so today.
Now here comes the excellent Connor Scanlon. First pitch from Vinny. Backed him in, ball 1. Scanlon, 38 runs batted in on the season for Mohawk Valley. That is way ahead of any other player on the squad. The next highest is Coleman with 25, as there's ball 2. So a really dangerous batter in the box in Scanlon, but Sangataldo must feel happy that there's nobody on base for him. The 2-0 is nicked foul to the backstop, 2-1. Two balls and 1 strike. Sangataldo in his motion. And the righty's pitch. A bouncing ball. Peritano again. He's like a magnet at short. And he guns the throw a little up the line, but playable for Tomei. Out number 3. We're through 2.5. Diamond Dogs holding a 1-0 advantage. We're back in the bottom of the third inning. The Blue Sox trying to come back down 1-0. Here comes the California native from San Marcos. It is Jack McWilliams, 9-10-1, batting for the Blue Sox against Hayden Strout. It would be Miller to follow, and then back to the top of the order with Flashner. And the first pitch to McWilliams is lined down the right field line and foul into the spectator section.
And McWilliams sporting an electric pink bat. That's probably the pinkest bat we've seen in a year. I'd argue that's more pink than Paratano's.
It's definitely fitting for the Pink the Park night at Donovan Stadium. The 0-1 is down low, 1-1. A great atmosphere tonight in Utica as we raise money for breast cancer research and awareness. 8th annual Pink the Park night at Murnane Field. The 1-1 pitch is outside, a fastball off the corner. So 2-1 to McWilliams. See if the bottom of the order can queue up a good scoring opportunity for Flashner as the leadoff hitter. 2-1 to McWilliams. Is down low, ball 3. Both Sangataldo and Strout have not issued any walks on the day. They've allowed a combined 5 hits but no free passes with ball 4. But nearing ball 4 is McWilliams as the count's at 3-1. And the pitch from Strout, and that's laced into left center field for a single to lead off the third for the Blue Sox. McWilliams gets on. Now brings up Caleb Miller with 1 on and none gone. The catcher is a midseason acquisition for the Blue Sox, rotating in the backstop role with Madison and Wirtz.
And this is the first time that the Blue Sox have had a base runner on with nobody down in this game. Huge opportunity for them to start cashing in and tie this one up. We're still early in this game, but you know Mohawk Valley is going to start feeling the momentum to have to keep going.
Try to bunt his way on. It's strike 1. So it is 0-1 to Caleb Miller. And you see Jack McWilliams at first base, not a huge stolen base threat. He's just swiped 1 bag this year. The 0-1 barely got a piece of it, foul along home plate. And Miller is in the hole, no balls and 2 strikes. Wind picking up a bit as we continue on in the bottom of the third. Should be a factor through the rest of the game. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That fastball gets Miller, and a big first out for Mohawk Valley's Hayden Strout.
And all of Miller's swings in that sequence were very big. He was looking for the power, trying to drive the runner along the base paths, but now the Blue Sox back up to the top of the order with Flashner.
The second baseman is 0 for 1, grounded out to short his first time up. McWilliams still stuck at first after Strout struck out Miller. That was the first K for Hayden on the night. Third base is pulled in for the bunt-happy Flashner. Pickoff attempt to first is tardy. McWilliams diving back in with ease. So Streeter very keen to the small ball tactics of Flashner and his speed down the line. See if he'll try and bunt here with 1 out. And the first pitch is outside. McWilliams trying to steal. The throw is errant. And Jack has his second stolen base of the year. Throw went off to the right. And McWilliams dives in safely to the bag. First stolen base of the game for the Blue Sox. And Flashner now with an RBI chance.
The throw looked like it kind of curved off the release there, Morgan. Maybe a bit of the wind getting involved, sending that one offline.
So Santiago's throw inaccurate, allowing McWilliams to steal. Count 1-0 to Michael Flashner. Strout leaning in still. Now set. The 1-0 pitch is upstairs. Another fastball. 2-0. The Blue Sox trying to win their 8th game out of their last 9. And they're down 1-0 here, so trying to do it in comeback fashion. There's ball 3, so a chance at a walk for Flashner. He has excellent plate discipline. 31 walks on the year. Is well ahead of any other batter on the Blue Sox. Next highest is 22 with Sweeney. The 3-0 is up high for ball 4 and a 4-pitch walk for Flashner. The Blue Sox have 2 on in the third. So Flashner reaches base for the first time today. And now here comes Kevin Francella. He grounded out unassisted to first base his first time up. Looking for his first knock that would likely drive in McWilliams from second should he be waved home. Strout in a little bit of trouble here. First and second, one gone. First pitch is a fly ball, hit well, left center field, and it is caught for the out by Frecker. So a first pitch fly out for Francella. He's now 0 for 2, and it's up to Anthony Paratano to get a run or more home for the Blue Sox in this third.
What a spot this would be here for Paratano to break back out, though, with the 2 runners on and trailing by a run here. We've said all year, Utica's clutching these situations with 2 down. Is this another spot where that can happen?
Anthony Paratano is 2 runs batted in away from being in the top 5 in Blue Sox career runs batted in. First pitch to Anthony, cut and a miss on the curveball, 0-1. Paratano singled his first time up. So the shortstop is 1 for 1. Smith is on deck. McWilliams at second, Flashner at first. In the third inning. And the 0-1 is lined and caught at third base by the flying Streeter. He robbed extra bases from Paratano, and that ends the inning. An excellent play by Aiden Streeter at third base. And we head to the fourth, Mohawk Valley maintaining their 1-0 lead.
We're through 3 innings here at Murnane Field. It's 1-0 Mohawk Valley as they look to salvage their season and try to get back into a playoff spot. As it's Brody Frecker leading off the DH. Already with an RBI single on the day back in the top of the first. He leads off the top of the fourth for the Diamond Dogs. Vinny Sangatano on the mound for Utica, and his leadoff pitch is in there for called strike 1.
And the Blue Sox have really gotten shut down by Hayden Strout and some excellent defense for Mohawk Valley, especially we just saw Streeter at third, and it puts the pressure on Sangatalo to perform.
And that one's chopped foul along the third baseline. Getting a good jump on that one was Kevin Francella, who would have easily probably thrown him out, but that ball decided that it was going to make its way foul. The count goes 0-2.
You can call him Michael Jackson because Francella's been a smooth criminal at third base. All night long, he's been excellent with the glove.
Both him and Paratano have both had a ton of work to do early on in this game defensively, as here's the 0-2 pitch, and that one's called low, 1-2.
Frecker is just one of those guys that can manufacture a way to get on base. He's really crafty with the bat. Sangatalo, though, does not want to get off to a bad start in his fourth inning.
Jake Dolan follows Brody Frecker in the order, then it's Aiden Streeter. Frecker responsible for the 1-run score today by Mohawk Valley, as we said earlier. His RBI single was the second hit on the day for the Diamond Dogs. 2 of their 3 hits came in that first inning as he swings through that one, and down he goes on strikes. So Sangataro sinks the floor out of him and sends him looking for a ball that was never there.
Strikeout number 27 on the year for Frucker.
Jake Dolan, the right fielder, is up now. He grounded into a fielder's choice situation to short. Gave Paratano some work, and Paratano's had quite a bit of work to do today. 4 times he has had to handle a ball in a position that's resulted in an out. Twice in the first, twice in the third. This one's flowing into shallow center field, moving on in, and making the catch is Connor Jones.
Poor Robbie Carvelli in right field is like, what about me? You can't hit it my way? Carvelli's been so rangy all year in right field. Made a highlight reel catch earlier in the year, but a lot of balls have been flowing to left or center tonight so far. Maybe that's part of the wind patterns, though the wind hasn't been as gusty right now as maybe earlier in the game.
It's the third baseman, Aiden Streeter, who is now up. He struck out looking so far in this game, and he swings through the first pitch 0-1. Streeter is looking to not have a similar result of the last time he was up, as he's been entirely fooled by Sangataro so far in this game, and that first pitch was another example. Here's the 0-1, and that one missed outside, and the count runs even at 1.
And Streeter's catch for out number 3 against Paratano, and that line drive down the third baseline was one of the best plays I've seen all year by an infielder.
The 1-1 swung through a missed, 1-2, and an opportunity for a 1-2-3 inning here for Sangataro as he looks for a second K in the top of the 4th. Struck out Brody Frecker already to lead off the side, now tries to close it down with a strikeout of Aiden Streeter. Here's the 1-2. And did he get it? No, he did not. Sangataro started walking off the mound. He thought that one was in there, but the umpire says no, it's 2-2.
There's no challenge system for balls and strikes in the PGCBL like the major leagues or even the minor leagues. So the call has to be accepted. Sangataro trying to get a K here, though.
Here's the 2-2. It's grounded short to guess who? Paratano. And guess what? He makes the play yet again. Paratano, yet another excellent play at shortstop to retire the side. It remains 1-0 Mohawk Valley after 3.5. Don't go anywhere. It's the bottom of the 4th inning here at Murnane Field as Utica trails 1-0 to the Diamond Dogs. The only run scored in this game so far was recorded in the very first frame in the top of the 1st. It's Xavier Smith leading things off for Utica in the bottom of the 4th. He popped out to second to start his game, and he hits a fly ball into deep right field. This one goes back, it's down, and it will jump over the wall for a ground rule double for Xavier Smith. So the game's first extra base hit comes in the form of a ground rule double, and the Blue Sox immediately have a runner in scoring position. That was a ball that on some days here at Moraine Field, that one's going out, but the wind today says no thank you. It was a well-hit ball there from Smith, but unfortunately for him, it does not quite get out in the way he would have liked. Regardless, he's still in scoring position with Connor Jones coming on up to the plate.
It's the first extra base hit all game long for the Blue Sox. And Smith getting the fourth inning started well for Utica.
Jones, the center fielder, grounded to short his first time up. Infield playing tight, making sure there's not really any gaps anywhere. Trying to avoid giving up a ground ball. RJ Tomei comes after Connor Jones, then Robbie Carvelli. It's the second time in this game that the Blue Sox have had a runner on with nobody out, but the first time that they've had a runner on in scoring position with nobody out. Outfield skewed slightly off to the right, maybe playing in a little bit, as in a couple of steps in left field. That's Kyle Coleman, who's playing maybe slightly in. 1-1 here to Connor Jones. The pitch from Stroud is in there for called strike two. Jones knows he probably should have gone for that one, but instead he now has to face a bad count. Smith in scoring position at second. Jones trying to send them home. 1-2 coming from Stroud. And that one's flown off to right, but it'll go way foul. But that ball was absolutely annihilated. Would have easily been extra bases had that stayed fair.
This shows that Jones is locked in. When he makes contact, even if it's foul, he hits it a long way. He's in a really good spot. Mentally with his bat, you can just tell. See if he can guide one fair and bring Smith home.
The center fielder will face 1-2 yet again. And that one missed outside. Count evens up at 2. Not really making an effort to keep Smith on at second base, but Smith also not taking that big of a lead.
I don't think Smith wants to run into an out at third base. He's just trying to see if CJ or anybody else can drive him home with a hit.
Especially with nobody down. That one is in there, and the count runs full. Jones had to kind of slide out of the way. So now, in what was a 1-2 count, Connor Jones has now worked it full. And Strout trying to get the first out of the side. The payoff pitch misses high and outside, and so Jones takes a walk, and he will stroll on the first base, and the Blue Sox with 2 runners on and nobody down.
This is the best start the Blue Sox have had in the first 2 batters to begin an inning. This is their best chance by far to bring a run or more home. And maybe Strout's getting a little bit tired. There is bullpen activity from Mohawk Valley. See if they turn to somebody else or if this is just a mad visit to settle Strout down.
Well, RJ Tomei is up for Utica. He flew out once in this game, but it was hard contact. It sent the center fielder running back pretty far. That was Jake Hard that had to run way back to snag that one. So maybe a bit of a strategy adjustment here as the Blue Sox have an opportunity to strike and tie this game up or potentially take the lead. RJ Tomei at first base. And he has the opportunity to tie this one up. Strout remains in the game for now, but like you said, Morgan, there are people warming up in the Diamond Dog bullpen.
Indeed, I think if Strout gives up a couple runs here, the Diamond Dogs may bring somebody new in. I don't know if Stroud's destined to go 6 innings or plus in this game.
The leadoff pitch is a bunt foul. It was a well-placed bunt. It would have advanced the runners no problem, but certainly would have sacrificed himself in that scenario.
Yeah, that was pushed very softly down the first base line. If it was fair, I think he could have loaded the bases given how softly it was hit. But with those soft bunts, it even has less of a chance of being fair, and that was one of those chances that it went foul.
So it's 0-1 to Tomei. See if he tries to bunt again. Not showing bunt for now. And he will try to swing away at this one. Instead, he just stares at it down low. Count evens up at 1. So Mohawk Valley infield adjusting a little bit, trying to figure out where they want to play to potentially cover for the bunt or could potentially cover for the hit that we might see. Strout steps off the mound to make sure Smith isn't going anywhere, and up to him comes the catcher, Jaden Santiago. So second visit here in the span of 2 pitches. This time it's just a catcher and pitcher conversation, trying to adjust their strategy up a little bit.
It goes to show, Killian, of what you talked about, the urgency for both of the teams, especially Mohawk Valley, trying to get into the playoffs. Blue Sox have already clinched and they're going for seeding. But these visits in this 4th inning means that they want to make sure that the communication is strong across the diamond so Strout can execute his pitch as well. And also something of note, is it possible we could try and see a double steal here with Smith and Jones? Unlikely, but it is possible. The Blue Sox have tried it this year.
They don't try it there. That ball missed high and outside. It's 2-1. But with nobody down, I mean, you would wonder if the Blue Sox would want to even risk potentially getting an out when they could send a runner home with a hit. So a lot of decisions here for manager Doug DeLatte. We'll see what he decides to do. The 2-1. Tomei stares at it inside, and it's 3-1.
I mean, when you look at it, Smith and Jones both have 12 stolen bases on the year. The only players with more, Flashner with 13, and Sweeney does it all. He has 14. So these are 2 guys that have plus marks in the speed category. But they may try and stay put on this pitch.
3-1. And swinging that one and fouling it down to his foot was Tomei, and the count runs full for the 2nd straight batter. Last time they were in this situation, Connor Jones walked. RJ Tomei now hoping he experiences the same fate. Still searching for his first out is Strout. A walk would load the bases with nobody down and bring up Robbie Carvelli, who already singled in the game. We'll see what Mohawk Valley decides to do if that becomes a scenario. 3-2. Missed outside, and so that walks him loaded. Taking a stroll to first base is RJ Tomei with our Robbie Carvelli, the right fielder, coming on up.
That makes the 3rd walk in the last 2 innings. Flashner walked in the 3rd, and now back-to-back base on balls for Jones and Tomei.
And that's looks like it's gonna end the day for Strout. So we will step aside here as we have a pitching change for Mohawk Valley. It's the bottom of the 4th inning. The Blue Sox with the bases loaded and nobody out, trying to tie this game up at 1 when we come back. We're back here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Utica Blue Sox trail the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs 1-0. As Mohawk Valley fighting for their playoff lives tonight as they sit just a game out of 4th place and the right to take on Amsterdam in the 1st round. A bit of a weather update. As we mentioned earlier, it's started raining here. So that might adjust the strategies of these players a little bit as you see some of the fans starting to put their hoods up or take out some umbrellas. But But a new pitcher in for Mohawk Valley, it's Dylan Anicelli. Morgan, what do you got?
Well, Dylan Anicelli is a right-hander from the University of Southern Maine. He calls East Providence, Rhode Island his home, and his stats on the year, he's trying to lower that ERA. It's near 10 at 9.97. He has 2 wins to his name, 1 loss, making his 13th appearance of the year. They've all come out of the bullpen.
So as the rain pours down, the bases are loaded with nobody down for Utica, and specifically for the right fielder, Robbie Carvelli. He's already singled on the day, 1 for 1, his second time up. And he has the opportunity to drive in the tying run and possibly the go-ahead run. So Carvelli stands in the right-handed batter's box, ready to face the righty Anicelli. The leadoff pitch misses high, 1-0. And Morgan, you have to imagine that the rain might kind of affect how he's gripping the ball on the mound.
And also, it could affect defense. A wet ball rolling on the ground, despite it being turf, could lead to some errors, possibly.
That pitch in there for a strike on the fastball, 1-1. Anicelli looking to get Mohawk Valley out of a jam. The Diamond Dogs scored 1 run in the top of the first, and that's the extent of the game scoring so far. As Carvelli swings through that one, it's 1-2, and an opportunity for a great start for Anicelli if he can get Carvelli down on strikes. Infield push in on the corners, pitch out towards the middle. Outfield playing in their center positions, and this one's line foul into the bullpen. It's a hard hit line drive, but about 50 feet foul. The count stays at 1-2 for Robbie Carvelli. Bowden Fernsler is up after him. Here's the 1-2. Towering fly ball up somewhere. It's going to go way foul. And it ends up hitting the ground somewhere over there. A bunch of kids will run after the ball.
And for Carvelli this season, he's only had 2 extra base hits. This could be one of the biggest hits of his season if he can get it.
But instead he swings through that one, strike 3, and so the first out of the side comes in the form of the K. And Bowden Fernsler, the left fielder, comes on up. Fernsler grounded into a unassisted fielder's choice at second base.
Now, Killian, looking at the rain, it doesn't look to be raining super hard, but it is steady. How long do you think it could last given the radar?
With what we've been looking at, it probably won't go on for too long, maybe 15-20 minutes at most, but it might be spotty. You might see it come back a little bit later on in the game.
We just hope it doesn't drive a lot of people away from this game with this great crowd. We just hope that it could be just a little bit of a rain spell and everybody stays.
So far, the fans have been up to the challenge. Everyone's still in the building, as it looks like the rain, at least for now, is somewhat subsiding.
Seems like it's more of a wind cold forecast right now. I did not say that eloquently, but it's less of the rain and more of the wind and the colder temperatures.
The 2-0 is way inside. Having to jump out of the way of that was Bowden Fernsler.
I think if you're Bowden, there is no way you swing at it except if it's a slow fastball right down the middle of the plate. I mean, it has to be a perfect pitch for you to swing. It's 3-0. You take ball 4, you get yourself an RBI and a walk and tie the game. He's got to be very selective in what pitches he swings at, given Anicelli in a 3-0 count.
He chooses not to swing at that one, and it catches the outside edge of the zone, 3-1. And now, if you're Fernsler in this situation, do you do the same thing? Do you just not swing, or do you try to attack this one a little differently?
I think 3-1 changes the arithmetic. I would still be selective, but maybe try and swing if you get the right pitch.
He doesn't swing at that, and that was the right choice. It walks in the tying run, and this game's tied at 1 with the bases still loaded.
And the Blue Sox have had these innings. They did have an inning like this in July against Mohawk Valley when the game was tied in the 8th inning, and the Blue Sox got walk after walk after walk and put up a huge number, went on to win by 7. So this is just one of those innings for the Blue Sox where they just keep the line moving and have a very long frame with a lot of walks.
Call an RBI walk there for Bowden Fernsler as Jack McWilliams comes up. The last time we saw him was not too long ago. It was in the bottom of the third as Utica looks to continue down the order. in the 9-hole. It's McWilliams. High fly ball out to deep right center field. This one goes back, and it is way out of here. A grand slam for Jack McWilliams, and the Blue Sox have blown this one wide open. It's 5-1.
Jack McWilliams, his first extra base hit of the year, is a grand slam home run with playoff seating on the line and a full crowd applauding him around the bases. McWilliams absolutely crushed that pitch to right center field. It was a no-doubter. McWilliams hasn't had a lot of power this year, but that was a ton of power, an incredible hit.
And now here's another high fly ball in the deep center field. This one goes back, making the leaping catch in center field. There was Jake Hard. And the Blue Sox nearly had 2 back-to-back extra base hits, but unfortunately it was not meant to be. But the sign will continue. We're back to the top of the order with Michael Flashner.
I mean, I have to feel happy for McWilliams because if you looked at the guys in the lineup who had home run history, Paratano, you could go with Smith, maybe even Francello, we've seen that. But McWilliams hadn't lifted off all year long. And the wind isn't gusting a ton. That was all himself. That was an incredibly impressive hit from McWilliams in a season where it hasn't come a lot. This could really wake him up, and McWilliams could be a huge part of this lineup for the rest of the season.
It's a 5-run side for the Blue Sox as that pitch gets away from Anicelli, and you could see him there wiping his hand on his pant leg, kind of just telling you that, oh, maybe the rain did affect him a little bit. The rain has gone away for now. Flashner is back in here for the 3rd time this game. He sits at 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out to short. Flashner stares at that one, 2-1. But Utica blown this one wide open. It's a 5-1 Blue Sox lead. And Mohawk Valley now has suddenly put quite a bit of pressure on themselves. We still have a ton of game to go, but they have to climb out of a multi-run deficit with the Blue Sox offense starting to get hot. And Anicelli right now just struggling to keep runners off the bag. That's Flashner right now staring down a 3-1 count. Couldn't be taking a stroll to first base. And he will. Flashner gets walked, and that is now the 4th walk of the side. Flashner makes his way on the first base. It's the 2nd time today he's been walked.
Third baseman, number 58.
Was walked both by Strout and now by Anicelli as Kevin Francella comes up. Francella's had some good opportunities in this game so far, but just has gotten very unlucky at some points. Hoping this time he's able to reach base. He grounded out to first, and he flew out to center. He swings through that one and tips into the glove, strike 1.
One swing can completely change the game. The Blue Sox are scrapping for any offense, and then they got a few walks, got runners on base, and then one cut from McWilliams. It's now a 4-run lead. How fast one inning can completely flip the script.
And kind of slipping there to get back on the base was Flashner. He's able to reach back in time, but the turf a little wet. And Flashner nearly becomes a victim of the turf monster.
You usually see the turf monster in football, not so much in baseball, but it could be a factor here.
Flashner takes off for second. High towering pop-up in the foul territory. Everyone moving out of the way, and coming over to make the catch is the first baseman, Connor Scanlon. So that will retire the side, but not before the Blue Sox have a 5-run bottom of the 4th. They lead this one 5-1 after 4 innings of play. Mohawk Valley looks to respond when we come back. Don't go anywhere. 4 innings gone by here at Murnane Field, and the Blue Sox lead it 5-1 off of a grand slam from an unlikely suspect in Jack McWilliams.
First home run of the year, first extra base hit of the year from McWilliams is a 4-run home run. How amazing is that?
I can't name a better time as this one is ripped and fielded not so cleanly at third by Francella, but he is able to ultimately make the throw to get Valdez Jr. out.
Well, he had a little bit of trouble with the exchange of the ball in his glove. But what was interesting with Valdez is that he didn't run super hard down the line. It could have been a much closer play as that ball was hit hard. Valdez maybe thought he lined out there and then realized that it was on the ground. But that made the play a little easier for Francella because Valdez wasn't hustling maybe as much as he could have.
It was also smart there by Francella not to panic when he initially bumbled the ball as Ryan Payne swings through the first pitch 0-1. Payne with a single on the day back in the second inning. Mohawk Valley has gone 1-2-3 in their past 2 times at bat, in the third and the fourth, after having a successful top of the first. They now sit in a 4-run hole with the Blue Sox leading this game 5-1. Payne swings at this one and fouls it into his foot. He'll walk it off, 1-2.
And a welcome sight as we get the 5th underway is the sun coming out to our left as the rain subsides a bit. It's almost golden hour right now, nearly at 8 o'clock. Sun's still setting right now, but it's a pretty nice sight to look at the field and see the sun illuminating.
The 1-2 misses. It's 2-2, count evened up. The Blue Sox looking to continue their domination on the mound. Ever since the second inning, they have not let up a run. Mohawk Valley now with an opportunity to end their 1-2-3 inning stretch. It's a full count here to Ryan Payne, the shortstop. Watches that one inside. Payne takes a stroll off to first base. And so that'll be the first walk issued by Sangatano.
Sangatano's had a really nice game, and when you look at that first inning they gave up the run, it was just a single and then a grounded advance to runner and then another single. It wasn't like he had a huge inning where he had multiple walks and multiple big hits allowed, extra base hits. He's been pretty contained with the amount of damage that he allows to happen. Now he's trying to retire Santiago at the bottom of the order and keep Payne at first base.
Jaden Santiago now at the plate for the Diamond Dogs. He swings through the first pitch 0-1. But Santiago taking on Sangatogo for the second time in this game. He grounded out to Francella at third base his first time up in the top of the second. He shows bunt and trying to get him out at first. The throw was not in time, as Ryan Payne took a bit too much of a jump there and nearly got caught. So Santiago, after threatening the bunt, stares at a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. It's a heavy swing there from Jaden Santiago, the catcher. And the Blue Sox looking to force Mohawk Valley into taking their second out. 1-2 coming. And it is chopped to Francella at third, trying to turn the double play. The throw to second is in time, but they won't be able to get the runner at first as no throw was attempted by Flashner. So it's a 5-4 fielder's choice, and that catches the lead runner. So Ryan Payne is out, and Santiago is sitting at first base.
That was a one-hop throw by Francella. He still got him in time, but an interesting delivery from Kevin, who has been peppered with a lot of balls down the line in this game. He's had to make a lot of great plays.
Francella continuing his strong showing in the field early on. Check-up attempts on Santiago at first base is unsuccessful. And so we're back to the top of the order with Jake Hard. Hard with a single, a run scored, and a fly out to left in this game so far. And Hard stares at that pitch. Down low, 1-0. The Blue Sox infield playing at their normal positions besides first, trying to keep Santiago on the bag. That pitch is in there for a call strike, 1-1. Mohawk Valley has not scored since the top of the first. Their last hit that they recorded was in the top of the second, and it was Ryan Payne who had recorded that hit. On the verge of going 3 innings hitless. The 1-1 misses just barely, 2-1. So Jake Hardy standing at the plate. That throw back to first. Once again, does not catch Santiago off quite in time.
Hardy's been such a dangerous player all season long. Just 1 for 2 today, which is
And
the standards.
Line drive from Hardy, and that will retire to side. So a little bit of action in left field there from Bowden Fernsler, and he's able to retire to side on the line drive. And so Mohawk Valley has now gone 3 consecutive innings hitless. The Blue Sox look to add to their lead when we come back. Four and a half innings have gone by. We've entered the second statistical half of the game here for the Blue Sox. They lead this one 5-1. Leading off, it's Anthony Paratano, his third time up. He has a single and a line out to third. And really what was an extremely difficult play at third base. It was honestly a miracle catch there from Aiden Streeter, who had to fly out almost and snag that out of the sky on the line out. So Paratano hoping he gets a little better luck this time up in the leadoff position. And he stares at the first pitch that misses 1-0. For a score update around the PGCBL, we'll go to Morgan. Morgan.
Thanks, Killian. First in the Western Division, Auburn leading Batavia, surprisingly 6-2 in the bottom of the 5th at Falcon Park. Olean tied with Niagara 5-5 in the top of the 5th.
That one in there for a strike. 1-1.
And concluding the Western Division scores right now, Elmira 1, Geneva 0, also in the top of the 5th. And in the East, games of more importance for the Blue Sox. I'll tell you after this pitch. Give the viewers a little suspense.
The pitch turns out to be a swinging strike. It's 1-2.
Well, Amsterdam and Boonville has been postponed, so the only active game in the East besides this one is a huge one, Socrates and Oneonta.
more suspense.
Well-
1 and 2. Nearly gets in and hits Paratano. They say he did go around, and so Paratano down on strikes over a pitch that nearly came in and hit him.
Well, the reason why I held off in telling the score is because I wanted to say that these teams want opposite outcomes. Mohawk Valley wants Oneonta to lose, and Utica wants Socrates to lose. And right now it's the Outlaws 2 and the Stallions 1 in the top of the 5th, but Socrates has 2 on in scoring position. So it's basically up in the air, but interesting for the Blue Sox. They'd only be a half game back of Socrates if the Stallions lose and the Blue Sox win. That's all the games in the PGCBL going on. Killian, I'll hand it over to you.
Well, Xavier Smith, the X-Man, on up here in the EH position tonight. He popped out and hit a double, which started off that run in the bottom of the 4th, which ended up in 5 runs for the Blue Sox with the grand slam from Mick Williams and the walk RBI from Bowden Fernslar. The 1-1. Smith holds off on it, called strike 1 and 2.
In that 4th inning, Smith really kicked it off. As you said, Killian, it was double, walk, strikeout. Walk, grand slam.
Smith swings through this one, kind of jammed him up. It goes way foul, ends up behind the bleachers where a bunch of kids will run for that, trying to get a souvenir. The count goes to 1 and 2 once again. 5 hits in this game for the Blue Sox, 3 for Mohawk Valley. No errors for either side. Utica leads the game 5-1. And that one comes in and hits Paratano on the back of his shoulder blade. And so Smith. Paratano has been hit numerous times this year. Smith will get hit in this situation. Not Paratano. Smith makes his way on the first base. And Connor Jones comes on up next.
That pitch wasn't really close by Anicelli. Hit him on the back. That ball needs to go over the head and hit him in the top of the back area in order to even plunk him. So it's another walk for the Blue Sox. They've had a ton in the last 3 innings.
The center fielder, Connor Jones, takes a called strike, and he didn't really agree with that. He immediately turned around like, I don't know about that. Regardless, it's 0-1 with a runner on first base. 1 down off the Paratano K. Jones walked his last time up and grounded to short back in the second. He will be followed by R.J. Tomei, the first baseman. Runner on first, 1 down. 0-1 to Connor Jones. The center fielder stares this one down and swings through it. 0-2. And an opportunity for Anicelli to get his second K of the side. It's 0-2. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. The throw to second is going to be not in time, and it makes its way to center field. Smith takes off for third. He's in without a throw. So that should be the first error of this game. Smith steals second and then advances to third, likely off the error. But we'll see what ends up getting scored as.
It looks to be an error that advancing into third. I agree with you, Killian.
There's no error up on the scoreboard yet. But we will wait to see what officially goes down as, although it was a very errant throw to second. So Smith sits at third base, and this one is sharply grounded by Jones. It'll score a run, so it's a sacrifice ground out there for Connor Jones. And now the fans go home with free fries and free tacos. As Jones records an RBI, meaning the fans get free fries from Burger King.
I don't think they ruled it an error. I think it was just an advance on the
Really?
throw. I don't see any error on the scoreboard. I agree with you. I think it should be an error, but we haven't had any indication that it's ruled as such. So for now, I'm assuming that they're going to call no error. They may change that in a look at the stats postgame.
So it's a 6-1 game. Xavier Smith comes home after walking. Connor Jones, a 5-3 ground out, but an RBI as R.J. Tomei comes on up. With 2 down here on the side. And Tomei takes that one for a strike, 1-1. Robbie Carvelli would be up next, then Bowden Fernsler, if the Blue Sox can keep this going. And Nicelli getting much more accurate, though, as time goes on. Hasn't thrown as many walks as he did back in the fourth. He's only thrown one here in the bottom of the fifth so far, and gotten 2 outs in the form of a strikeout swinging and a ground out to third. 2-1 coming. That one misses way outside. It's a wild pitch, but nobody's on base to take off. The count will just go to 3-1. The pitch is sharply grounded, and the count runs full. An opportunity for Anicelli to get out of the side of only 1 run conceded. Let's see what he's able to do. Full count, 2 down. RJ Tomei, who flew out and walked in this game so far, trying to reach base for the second time. And he lines this one in the left center field for a base hit. Tomei took a sharp turn around first, was thinking about going for second, but he has to throw on the brakes and drop back. Regardless, Tomei with a single to expand the side. This will bring up Robbie Carvelli now. The right fielder with a single and a strikeout on the day so far, sitting at 1 for 2. After him, it will be Bowden Fernsler, then Jack McWilliams, the home run hitter. Or should I say the grand slam hitter?
Both apply.
You could go with either. I would say the grand slam hitter would be more impressive of a title.
Because it doesn't happen a lot.
Carvelli ready to face the leadoff pitch. And that one misses outside, 1-0. Mohawk Valley infield playing in their normal positions besides first. Trying to keep Tomei at first base because we know Tomei likes to take off. They check up on him there, and he slides back into first, no problem. The 1-0. Swung on and grounded into center for a base hit, so that advances the runner along, and a runner on first and second.
Carvelli with his second hit of the game. Now a 2 for 3 night.
7 hits now for Utica in the bottom of the fifth. Bowden Fernsler.
And now bear with me. If Fernsler walks or singles without any runs scoring, bases loaded for Jack McWilliams. It's possible.
Morgan may have jinxed it. We will find out.
I mean, I'm just saying it's a possibility. If that happens, I'd fall out of my chair.
Well, you're one step closer. The first pitch misses. It's 1-0.
I mean, I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's possible. You've seen Anicelli have trouble throwing strikes in this game. He walked 4 in the fourth. He's already walked 1 in the fifth.
Fernsler recorded an RBI walk his last time up, and then advanced to home off of the McWilliams grand slam. That pitch misses outside. It's 2-0.
Now halfway to the walk, and the base is loaded again for Jack.
Morgan is channeling this possible second grand slam.
I would love for that to happen because I doubt we've ever seen that.
Oh, it's a high fly ball into left. Everyone drops on back, and moving over and making the catch, he had to extend his arm there, but able to bring it in was the left fielder Kyle Coleman. That retires the side. We do not see a potential second grand slam for Jack McWilliams, but the Blue Sox do tack on a run. It's 6-1 after 5 innings of play. Mohawk Valley looks to respond when we come back. The bottom of the fifth ended with a spectacular Kyle Coleman catch. He had to run around and really extend his arm to retire the side. And the top of the sixth will start with him as well as he leads things on for the Diamond Dogs. They trail by 5, and their playoff hopes really rely on them getting a win here against the Blue Sox. Otherwise, it's going to make things a lot more difficult trying to catch Oneonta and to get back into that 4th place spot. The first pitch misses. It's 1-0.
And an important scoring note, they have ruled the throw into center field, allowing Smith to advance to third. He later came around to score in the 5th inning. They called that throw an error.
And so here's a leadoff flyout into right field. Robbie Carvelli making the catch. No problem there.
Carvelli finally getting some action in right field. He hasn't done anything in right all game long, and it's not his fault. He probably just could have sat in the ground. I mean, I wouldn't suggest that, but it wouldn't have mattered if he did through the first 5 innings. But I think partially it's because Robbie is so good in right field. He makes so many great catches that a lot of players don't want to hit to him.
Connor Scanlon is up now for the Diamond Dogs. He's grounded out twice. Both times were too short.
To AP. Peritano has been huge at shortstop. The left side of the infield's gotten a lot of action, and they've delivered. No errors so far for the Blue Sox.
Peritano and Francella have both had their plates full tonight. Swinging and missing at that is Scanlon. Now he's quickly down 0-2, and Sangatano an opportunity to get a K. Here's the 0-2. High and inside, and having to duck out of the way of that was Scanlon. Count goes to 1-2. It'll be interesting to see how far Sangatano can go. He's sitting at 63 pitches so far thrown in this game. As number 64 from Sangatano is popped up into shallow infield. Moving on over and making the catch is Anthony Peritano for the second out.
These quick outs for Sangatano can possibly extend the opportunity for him to go really deep in this game, maybe a full 7 innings. That would probably be the goal for Doug Dillett, to save his bullpen as much as possible for the final stretch run, which includes 2 games against the vaunted Amsterdam Mohawks. Amsterdam has 31 wins already.
Brody Frecker is up to the plate. He has an RBI single and a strikeout on the day, sitting out 1 for 2. Mohawk Valley, if they're unable to cash in here, they would be down to 9 outs to score at least 5 runs. It's a tough play for Peritano, but he makes the throw. It was a lengthy one, but he's able to beat out Brody Frecker, the retired aside, so it's another 0 for Mohawk Valley. It remains 6-1 after 5.5. Don't go anywhere. 5.5 innings down. And the Utica Blue Sox lead 6-1. They lead in the hits department 7-3, and lead or trail technically in the errors department, depending on how you consider scoring that.
They lead in errors 0-1, I would say. The less errors you have, the better.
And that one error did end up allowing the Blue Sox to contribute a run as Xavier Smith came home.
And the new pitcher is Matt Allegria from Mohawk Valley. It's their third pitcher, replacing Dylan Anicelli. And Allegria has a tough task against him in his first at-bat. It's Jack McWilliams who hit the grand slam his last time up. Allegria coming in with an ERA over 11.
McWilliams 2 for 2 with a single and a grand slam. So if his day wasn't good enough already, he has that little single in the third to add on top of it, little cherry on top. His third time up in this game. Oh yeah, he also has a stolen base too. So he has quite a bit of positive offensive things in this game going for him. He's so far been the Blue Sox player of the game. But still plenty of time left for him to add to that resume as he quickly looks at a 1-1 count.
I mean, a grand slam for your first extra base hit all season. I mean, I don't know how you could take MVP away from him. Even if he doesn't get a hit the rest of the game, the grand slam, a single, and a stolen base, as long as the Blue Sox win, I would give it to him.
That one was swung through by McWilliams. The count goes to 1-2. Jack, the DH, facing the 1-2, and called strike 3. He's rung up on that pitch that was at the top of the zone. And so the umpire, after exchanging some words with McWilliams, says that's enough, and we will advance on to Caleb Miller, the catcher. Miller lined out and struck out in this game so far, 0 for 2. After him, it would be back to the order with Flashner. So we're guaranteed to see Flashner since he is the third man due up. But Caleb Miller looking to reach base for the first time today in the bottom of the 6th. The Blue Sox lead 6-1. They lead in the hits department 7-3, and the one error in the game belongs to Mohawk Valley. That pitch is tipped into the glove for a strike. It's 1-1.
And after this half inning concludes, I'm interested to see if Sangatella will come out for a 7th inning of work. He's only up to 64 pitches. It's something to ponder for Dillette.
A 1-1 misses high, 2-1.
I mean, he's been effective. Only 3 hits. Only 1 earned run that came in the first. Just walked 1. He's relied a lot on ground ball outs. Just 2 strikeouts.
Here comes the 2-1. That one's in there for a called strike. Count evens up at 2. And an opportunity for Allegria to get back-to-back Ks. The righty Allegria staring down the righty Miller. 2-2. High and inside, and the count runs full. We've seen this quite a bit today for the Blue Sox, where they've had full count situations to deal with. And this looks to be another one. Full count. And that one misses just outside. And taking his stroll to first base and getting on base for the first time today is Caleb Miller, with the top of the order coming back for the Blue Sox. The second baseman, Michael Flashner, is back up. He grounded out to short and walked twice, sitting at 0 for 1 on the day. Would love to reach here with a hit, but we'll see what he's able to do. And that one's fouled back, 0-1 on the leadoff pitch. So after Flashner, it's Francella and Peritano. Flashner trying to advance Miller along the base paths. The 0-1, missed tying outside, 1-1. Third pulled way in, expecting a bunt here from Flashner, which...
I feel like they have this defense every time Flashner is up, even if it's not a situation to bunt. This one would be a terrible situation, but I think if there's less than 2 outs, Streeter's pulled in from third.
That one is flown back foul, and that might be the largest crowd of kids we've seen all year chase after a foul ball. That was at least 20.
Are you excluding Kids Day Out?
I am excluding that because
Okay.
that was just unfair for all the
Unfair.
other games.
Okay.
Because that was all kids.
You couldn't beat that record.
I think that one we had 40 to 50 at one point, and then a teacher got involved and yelled at everybody.
Oh, goodness.
1 and 2. Runner thought about taking off, and good thing he didn't because he would have been easily caught at second base. Miller remains at first. The count evens up at 2.
Caleb, just 1 stolen base on the year in 1 attempt. Santiago, yes, he was ready to throw, but we just saw him make an error on a Smith stolen base, so the throw may have not been accurate, though I do agree with Miller getting back to the bag.
The count has run full after that pitch was down low, and Flashner could be facing his 3rd walk on the day. He stands in the left-handed batter's box. The 3-2, runner goes. This one is popped into foul territory slightly. Moving on over and making the catch is Aiden Streeter. So down goes Flashner, who got contact on the end of his bat there and popped that one up into the sky. So Kevin Francella, the third baseman, comes on up. He grounded the first, flew out to center, and popped out to first. He's gotten just unlucky at a couple points today. He got jammed on a few pitches here and there. Leadoff pitch is a towering pop-up, and strafing on over it and making the catch is Connor Scanlon. So that's the 3rd time today Scanlon has caused Francella to go out on his own, and that will retire the side. It's 6-1 following 6 innings of play. The Blue Sox hold the lead. Mohawk Valley gets another chance to respond when we come back.
Vinny Sangatalo, today's starter for the Blue Sox, is back for his 7th inning of work, and he will face 5, 6, and 7 in the 7th inning. Jake Dolan leads off. He's 0 for 2. Ground out and a flyout. First pitch from Vinny is taken in for a strike at the lower portion of the zone, 0-1. Sangatalo, 6 completed innings, just 3 hits allowed. The 1 run that he allowed came in the first inning. There's a swing and a miss, quickly 0-2 to the leadoff batter in the 7th.
Time is running out for Mohawk Valley. They're down to their last 9 outs and down by 5 runs. They got to get going right now.
2-strike pitch misses low and away, 1-2. As Sangatalo works fast to open this frame.
With this much of a deficit, you can't be giving free outs back to the Blue Sox. You got to be making contact and getting on base.
The 1-2 is inside, and it's 2-2 to Dolan. Sangatalo's relied on a lot of pitch to contact outs. 10 of his outs have come on the ground. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball, and down he goes. Jake Dolan is retired. And there's one gone in the 7th inning. Third strikeout for San Cataldo. Now it brings up Aiden Streeter. He's been great defensively today, but hasn't gotten a hit with his bat. 0 for 2, strikeout and a ground out. First pitch drops low into the glove of Caleb Miller, 1-0. The infield's playing back all the way around, especially up the middle. There is again that hole between second and shortstop that could allow a single to be hit right up the gut. It's now 2-0 on a ball down low again.
Morgan, if you want to measure at how good of a game San Cataldo is having, he has not allowed a hit since the 2nd inning. Just absolute insanity from him. He's been absolutely stellar on the mound.
The 2-0 is trickled foul. San Cataldo, ever since the 2nd inning where he allowed a single to Ryan Payne, 1, 2, 3 innings. In the 3rd, 4th, and 6th, and in the 5th, he only faced 4 batters, just allowed a base on balls to the 8-hitter. The count 2-1, and here comes the pitch, and it's lined to short. Paratano lays out for the grab. What a play! Anthony Paratano has been stellar all night at shortstop. That play topped them all. 2 gone.
I mean, there are no words for that. What can you say really besides
full extension, arm outstretched, Paratano dazzling work with the leather. Here's Valdez Jr. with 2 gone. First pitch is grounded along third and to the Blue Sox dugout, 0-1.
Cat-like reflexes there from Paratano.
I know. I thought he could have stopped the ball in front of him and had to play it first, but I didn't think he was going to catch it on a line. That was even more impressive. The 0-1 pitch from San Cataldo. Fought off and foul to the right side now to play. So Vinny looking for his 4th 1-2-3 inning. And his 4th in the last 5 innings. He has no balls and 2 strikes on Roberto Valdez Jr. And the pitch from the righty to the plate is a ground ball, hopped past second base. And it's a single for Valdez. Just struck it fast enough to get under the glove of Flashner. So this will not be a 1-2-3 inning for San Cataldo, but he can make it a scoreless inning with Ryan Payne at the plate. If he retires him, Blue Sox will take a 6-1 lead in the bottom of the 7th. We have a mound visit here. See if the Blue Sox will make a pitching change. They have multiple arms throwing in the pen, but the gate hasn't opened yet.
And Morgan, I feel like if you're Utica here, why would you not have the faith in San Cataldo after what he's done so far? I mean, 7 innings, only conceded 1 run, 4 hits. That one really was nearly not a hit. It almost got stolen away by Flashner. So I would say you keep him in the game here. You let him go through the 7th inning and get out of it.
And they do keep him on the mound. 2 out and 1 on a single past second by Valdez Jr. This is the feeling of San Cataldo's final inning. If he completes it, it'll be 7 strong. And for a guy that often comes out of the bullpen, him as a starter tonight has been spectacular. Here's Payne. First pitch blocked low by Miller, 1-0. On deck is Jaden Santiago, who's 0 for 2. Payne has not been retired tonight, singled in the 2nd, and then walked in the 5th. 7th inning, 6-1 Blue Sox. The 1-0 from San Cataldo. Swing and a miss, 1-1 on the fastball. Got it by Payne, and the count evens up. Penultimate home game for the Blue Sox on Pink at the Park night as we spread awareness for breast cancer research. And the 1-1 coming from San Cataldo, and he left it low and away, looking for a swing. It didn't come from the patient Payne. 2 balls and a strike.
And this is a huge out here for Mohawk Valley, because if they aren't able to get at least one run here. This leaves them with 6 outs to get 5 runs. And with the Blue Sox pitching and how red hot it's been, it's going to be pretty difficult to get back in this one.
It's ball 3 to Payne. Fingaltaldo trying to get his control back. Last time he walked a batter, it was this very hitter, Ryan Payne, 2 innings ago. The 3-1 pitch is low and outside, ball 4, and there's 2 on base in the 7th.
The catcher number 7, Aiden Santiago.
And it looks like this might be the end of the day for Sangatado, as motioning onto the bullpen and bringing out a new pitcher are the Blue Sox. So Sangatado's day is going to come to an end just shy of 7 complete innings.
An excellent start for Vinny Sangataldo. 6 2/3 innings pitched. He's responsible for runners on first and second, but right now just 1 earned run to his ledger. As the Blue Sox bring in a reliever, Vinny in line for the win. An excellent outing for him. And we'll have a new pitcher when we return in the 7th inning. We return to action with a new hurler for the Blue Sox. And the first guy out of the pen is Mikey First, one of the best pitchers the Blue Sox have on their staff, Killian.
Well, First posting a 4.79 ERA, 1 credited win, 1 credited loss. He's appeared 7 times throughout the season. This will be his 8th and 20.2 innings pitched coming into this game. Allowed 21 hits with 12 runs, 11 of those being earned, and only dished out 4 walks. He's allowed 3 homers, though, so the long ball could be a bit of a problem for him as Mohawk Valley looks to rally to get back in this one in the top of the 7th.
The batter that First will battle with to open his outing is Jaden Santiago. Jaden has not hit a home run this season. All of his extra base hits, 3 of them have been doubles. First and second, 2 out in the 7th. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Santiago pulled after 6 2/3 strong innings. 4 hits, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for Sangataldo. Great contact pitcher, shows his stuff again. The 1-0 from Mikey is outside again, 2-0. First trying to keep this game a 5-run affair.
If the Blue Sox are able to get this out right here, it'll really push them into a much better position defensively with Mohawk Valley no longer having those runners and them being down to 6 outs. First just got to get this 1 out right here. So we had time called by the batter.
2-0 the count to Santiago. Starting his 22nd game, appearing in his 23rd on the year. The 2-ball offering misses again, 3-0. So First unable to find the strike zone so far. Against Santiago has a 174 batting average. Furthermore, Santiago hasn't walked a ton. 8 walks to just 16 strikeouts with a count 3-0. Pitch number 4, the at-bat. Gets the call for strike 1, and first keeps the at-bat alive with a good pitch. Valdez at second, Payne at first. 2 gone in the 7th. Mohawk Valley trying to score for the first time since the opening inning. And the 3-1 from the reliever. First to the plate. Got the call on the outside corner, 3-2. So Mikey first trying to climb all the way back from 3-0 to retire Santiago, and he's a chance to do it on a strikeout with this 3-2 pitch. First looking straight in, now set. And his payoff pitch is outside, ball 4, and he walked him, and the bases are loaded. And the worst hitter that first could face with 3 on is Jake Hardy. Why, you ask? Well, Hardy has 14 doubles on the year, 8 more than the next Diamond Dog. He's hit 2 home runs, coming into this game with a batting average over 370, and he already has a single on the day. So Hardy leading off the game with a hit, now trying to get a massive knock 7 innings later. First pitch, swing and a miss into the mid of Miller, 0-1. Dangerous spot for Mikey first, and also Sangatado's night on the line here, because if those runners from second and third score, Sangatado all of a sudden have 3 earned runs instead of 1, which he currently has. Most important, the score, 6-1 Blue Sox. That is lined into left field. Fernsler can't make the catch. It bounces in front of him. And both runs score from second and third. And then the throw gets away into foul territory. And the runners not going home move up to second and third. And this game is completely changed. It is 6-3. Valdez and Payne touch home. Santiago to third. And Hardy with his 15th double of the year.
Well, that was exactly what the Diamond Dogs needed, because now they've got 2 in scoring position. They've already cut 2 into the lead, and they're not even out of the 7th. This is why I said the Blue Sox have to get this out right here, get out of the inning and force them to be down to their last 6 outs. Instead, they haven't been able to get out of the side, and now all of a sudden could spell disaster for the Blue Sox as Mohawk Valley climbing back into the game.
Coleman takes the ball down low, 1-0. So Hardy makes first pay for loading the bases with a Santiago walk by lining one to Fernsler for a 2-run hit. And the count now 2-0 to Coleman, so it seems like the control for first hasn't been there like it has been in other outings for him this season. Kyle Coleman at the plate, 2 balls and no strikes. Runs that are possible, number 4 and 5 from Mohawk Valley in scoring position. That's popped up foul down the right field line. I mean, Coleman right now is the tying run at the plate. If he goes long, this game is knotted at 6. That seemed like a faint possibility going into the 7th inning with the score 6-1. It's now 6-3. So first gets a strike on a foul ball. It's 2-1. And the 4th pitch of the at-bat is taken in, 3-1. On deck is Connor Scanlon. First is one wayward pitch away from loading the bases again. Runners get their leads at second and third. Not massive leads. They stay put on a 3-1 pitch, and it's down low for ball 4, and the bases are loaded. And now the go-ahead run in Connor Scanlon hits in the 7th inning. This will be the 8th batter to take their turn in the 7th for the Diamond Dogs.
Well, the Mohawk Valley offense is woken up here, and we're going to get a mound visit. Would not be too shocked to see First come out here relatively soon if these struggles keep going on for him. But no movement really in the bullpen, so looks like it might just be a brief talking to.
Blue Sox do have players up and throwing in their pen. No indication that they're going to make a change right now, but it is possible on the horizon if First can't get third out of the inning. I mean, the only solace for him with the bases loaded is that he's 1 out away from ending the frame for the Diamond Dogs offense. Sangatado breezed through the first two batters, strikeout of Dolan, line out of Streeter. Got a little help from the diving Paratano, who made a spectacular catch. But then Valdez singled with 2 out, and that proved to be a very consequential hit. Extended the game for Mohawk, extended the inning for Mohawk Valley, and they haven't looked back. They've scored 2 runs, now they've loaded the bases. Down by 3 runs. Scanlon at the plate, and if Connor reaches base, Frucker would hit, meaning all 9 batters would hit in the 7th inning for Mohawk Valley. First does not want that to happen. His mission, get out Scanlon. And end the inning with the Blue Sox having a 3-run lead. And the first pitch gets inside, nearly hit him. Scanlon had to back away, ball 1.
And if you're Scanlon here, I imagine you're just going to take all these pitches. I mean, First hasn't proven so far he's been able to throw accurate strikes in this game.
It's now 1-1 on a breaking ball low to even up the count.
So if you're Scanlon here, I mean, I imagine you just take. Make him prove to you that he's able to find his zone.
Well, he's taken on the first 2 pitches. See what happens on a 1-1. He swings and trickles one. Slowly, Paratano, the throw! Got him! Anthony Paratano, another excellent field and throw from shortstop. And that retires the side. Mohawk Valley gets 2, but strands 3. 6-3 the score through the middle of the 7th. The Diamond Dogs make a pitching change in the bottom of the 7th. Nolan Gillis is on the mound. The right-hander goes to college at Bryant, and the freshman is from Sur, New Hampshire. This season he has an ERA at 11.07. He's making his 11th. 11th appearance on the year. He had 6 previous starts. Anthony Paratano leads off for the Blue Sox after he made 2 spectacular plays in the top of the 7th to prevent any further damage from the Mohawk Valley bats. Bases were loaded when Paratano recorded out number 3 with his throw to first.
Paratano's been on fire in the field. Is this the point where he's able to pick things up at the plate? Struggled so far batting today. But what a spot this would be to maybe provide an insurance run or 2 here by getting on.
Paratano, Smith, and Jones against Gillis in the home 7th. And the first pitch from the new hurler is in there for a strike on the heat, 0-1. Paratano's lone hit came in the first on a 2-out single. He couldn't score. Next 2 at-bats for him, a line out and a strikeout. The 0-1 pitch can't find the zone from Gillis, and that evens up the count, 1-1. Can the Blue Sox get that distance back from Mohawk Valley? It was a 5-run game for a while, now a 3-run game. It's 2-1 now on a pitch high, so see if the Blue Sox can add on in the 7th to up that lead back to where it was before the Diamond Dogs added a couple. 2-1 the count. Gillis v. Paratano in the pitch. Drops in low, 3-1, excuse me.
Good job by Paratano here, just taking these pitches, making him prove that he's able to throw strikes before he swings at these. Blue Sox still lead in the hits category with 7.
3-1 from Gillis. In there for a strike, painted on the outside edge. And that fills up the count for the opening Blue Sox batter of this inning. 7th stanza of this contest, second to last home game for the Blue Sox in 2026, at least in the regular season. A 3-2 pitch is grounded to Payne at shortstop. He moves his feet with ease and throws to first for the out. 1 gone in the home 7th. Paratano is out for the 3rd time. And here comes the X-Man, Xavier Smith. 1 for 2, a double, a walk, and 2 runs scored.
And for Smith in this spot, you got to just try to get on here and let your offense, which has been hot for the majority of this game, just keep providing behind you.
And the opening pitch gets the call for a strike. Went with the fastball, and Gillis is nibbling on the outside edges of the zone and getting good calls. So he's figure why not keep doing it, and he has. 0-1 to Smith. Strike 2, very fast, Smith in the hole. 2 runs for Mohawk Valley in the top of the inning. Blue Sox do not want to put up a 0 to give the Diamond Dogs a chance to cut into the deficit more when the 8th rolls around. The 0-2 from Gillis is outside and away into the glove of Santiago, 1-2. The wind has subsided for a few innings now, so a neutral atmosphere when it comes to balls flying in the air. No wind to help or hurt. A 1-2 pitch is flown well into left center field, and that ball is going to be caught for the out. So Kyle Coleman makes the catch for the out. A well-hit fly ball by Smith, but can't get ahead, and here comes Connor Jones. CJ's last time up, an RBI ground out to third base. He's also walked on the day and scored a run. First pitch is bounced in the dirt, no swing, 1-0. Pink the Park Night in Utica, New York. A great crowd on hand as we spread awareness for breast cancer research. It's 1-1 now in partnership with the American Cancer Society.
And so far, the Blue Sox have put on a good show with a grand slam on the night. They lead this one 6-3. But Mohawk Valley is threatening.
Tried to check his swing, and he held up. It's 2-1. Jones trying to manufacture a 2-out rally with Tomei on deck. The 2-1 now from Gillis is up high, 3-1. So a chance for a walk for CJ. Would be a second base on balls of his night. See if he can follow through on that. He does. Ball 4. 5-pitch walk to Connor Jones, and the inning continues for Tomei.
Well, good on the Blue Sox there that they didn't go 1-2-3 for a second consecutive inning. Now they got to capitalize on it. And Tomei, who's flown out, singled, and walked on the day so far, has a big opportunity.
Tomei eyeing his second consecutive hit and third consecutive time on base. First pitch wails away 0-1 on a swing and a miss. Blue Sox 6, Diamond Dogs 3. Mohawk Valley desperate to climb the standings, get into the playoffs. The Blue Sox are already in the postseason. They want to climb up the standings to the 2 seed. They currently sit in 3rd. The 0-1 pitch is into right center field. That drops in and splits the gap for a base hit. This could score a run as the ball keeps rolling. Around from 3rd is Jones. He scores. Diving into 3rd, R.J. Tomei with an electrifying triple. That's what the Blue Sox needed, a 2-out RBI, and they lead 7-3.
That's a beautifully accurate piece of hitting there. Perfectly shoots the gap, takes advantage of how close to the foul line the right fielder was playing there and drops that ball down, rolls all the way to the wall. And an absolutely beautiful piece of hitting there from R.J. Tomei. He's rewarded by sitting on 3rd base and an RBI.
There comes Carvelli. Takes the ball 1-0. Robbie, 2 singles and a strikeout. RBI chance for Carvelli would be his first on the day if he can drive in Tomei from 3rd. The 1-0. Strike 2. That pitch looked to be high. But Nolan Gillis gets the call to even up the count. Infield's playing at normal depth. And the 1-1 is on the outside edge, 2-1. A little outside the edge. Could be 3-0, but the count's 2-1 after that close strike. Fernsler on deck, and a 2-1 to Carvelli coming. Sliced into right field and foul, 2-2. Tomei's really creeping down the line, ready to go on any contact, and he wouldn't have any fear running because there's 2 out, and he wouldn't get doubled off in any scenario.
That ball was absolutely smoked foul. Ended up in the bullpen, but that would have probably easily sent Tomei home had that stayed fair.
2-2 to Carvelli. Fought off and foul to the right side. And we'll do it again. Couple foul balls for Carvelli to keep the inning and at-bat alive. Blue Sox have responded from the 2 Mohawk Valley runs with a run in the bottom of the 7th. Can they add on here with Tomei at 3rd? Another 2-2 pitch coming from Gillis. Into center field. That ball is going to hang up, and it is caught by Frecker for out number 3. The Blue Sox do get a run back on a triple by Tomei. They lead 7-3 going into the 8th. We are proud to announce that in our fundraiser today for breast cancer research, the Blue Sox auctioned the special Pink the Park jerseys to fans and families The money raised totals over $5,000 for breast cancer research, which is just awesome.
Yeah, our PA announcer Tim Best specifically mentioned that the highest bet was $336. He didn't specify what jersey that was for, but I would be really interested to see if maybe it's a McWilliams jersey after the night he's had so far tonight.
I know, but it's just so awesome that this night's not only been great for attendance, the weather's calmed down with the rain a lot. There's been a good ball game, a good ball club in the Blue Sox, but this night did something good for a lot of people. New pitcher for the Blue Sox in the top of the 8th, it's Johnny Amato. And here he comes in the 8th inning, replacing Mikey first. First pitch is guided to short. Peratano with an easy play to first, one gone. So a first pitch ground out for Frecker. Now here comes Dolan. This is his second straight inning with a at bat. He struck out in the 7th to lead off that inning.
This is now, or excuse me, that was now the 10th out that Peratano has contributed to in some way, shape, or form right there.
It's now 1-0 to Dolan. Jake 0 for 3. Fielder's choice out. Fly out and a K. The 1-0 from Amato bounces into Miller, who blocks it. Just gets away from him, though, to his left. 2 balls and a strike. I mean, 2 balls and no strikes. At least yet. An update from Oneonta. Stallions lead the Outlaws still. Score is now 6-2. Or rather 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th. So the Blue Sox just trying to see if Socrates can slip up twice, but that looks to be unlikely as the season continues to come to its end. It's now 3-1 on a pitch low to Dolan. Amato, the third pitcher for the Blue Sox. Saying Cataldo started and went 6 2/3. Inside for ball 4 and a 1-out walk for Dolan, his first time on base. And it brings up Streeter, looking for his first time on base. One on with 1 out. Mohawk Valley scored 2 in the 7th, trying to score again in the 8th, down 7-3. First pitch of this at-bat is laced just foul down the third base line.
And that probably would have scored Dolan all the way from first base had that drop, because that was going right for the corner.
That was stung off the stick. Very well hit. Getting late in the game for Mohawk Valley. They only have 5 outs to work with. Trying to avoid their 9th straight loss. They currently are on an 8-game losing streak. 0-1 from Amato is tagged to right field on a fly ball and foul. So 0-2 with 1 on base. Dolan the runner after his walk. Valdez Jr. on deck. Comes a 2-strike pitch from Amato. Johnny to the plate. Bounced it low, ball 1. The sky clear. No ripples of thunder or flashes of lightning despite a little rain earlier. It is a little bit on the chillier side tonight, but I don't mind. A lot of people know it's still in the ballpark. There's ball 2 in tight to even up the count. It's level at 2-2. Hasn't been much wind since the early parts of the game. We have had a home run, grand slam by McWilliams. Play of the game so far. And the 2-2 is in there for strike 3. Got him looking. And down goes Streeter for the second out of the 8th. So with Streeter to the dugout, it brings up Valdez Jr. He is 1 for 3. He singled and scored a run in the 7th.
And for Utica, that's a huge out right there because now you put the pressure on Mohawk Valley here in the 8th. They're down by 4, and they're down to their final out of the side.
Wave and a miss, 0-1. Amato trying to work around the 1-out walk. Payne is on deck. He's had a great game, gotten on base 3 times. So Amato does not want to have to face Payne with base runners. That ball is down low, 1-1. Top of the 8th. Blue Sox looking to win again at home. They have been unstoppable at Donovan as of late, especially in this month, after a bit of a rocky start at their home digs. The 1-1 got the call, strike 2. One on with 2 out. Amato gets back on the rubber. His right foot behind his left. He's in the stretch. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him on the breaking ball. Struck him out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Amato on a scoreless 8th. We go to the bottom of the inning. Blue Sox lead 7-3. We're back in the bottom of the 8th. Perhaps the last time the Blue Sox will bat tonight. They lead 7-3 against the new pitcher for Mohawk Valley. It is Colin Schneider. He has a 7.82 ERA. He's making his 9th appearance. They've all come in relief in 12.2 innings. He has struck out 11 and walked 9. As Sweet Caroline plays over the loudspeakers, I do want to shout out that my favorite MLB team, the Boston Red Sox, have won 15 straight games, tied for the most in team history. They may lose tonight. They're trailing right now, but a shout out for the Red Sox. Another pair of Sox has done well tonight. The Blue Sox leading by 4, looking to win again and go to 24-6 on the year. Utica 1.5 behind Socrates. The Stallions currently lead Oneonta. So Utica not getting any help from their adversaries higher in the standings. Bowden Fernsler leads off for the Blue Sox. It is 8, 9, and 10 against the new pitcher Colin Schneider. Fernsler with a run-scoring walk tonight. He also grounded out and flew out. Can the Blue Sox add on some insurance runs in the 8th? We'll find out with the bottom of the order. Due up.
Well, you know that Fernsler is going to be a tough out to face at the beginning. He's very good when he's leading off. What can he do here?
Opening pitch is in tight. Brushed it past him, ball 1. Infield's playing back, especially up the middle. The 1-0 drops in, strike one. And on deck, star of the game, Jack McWilliams, with his grand slam, putting the Blue Sox ahead, and perhaps for good if they can hold on here. There's a 1-1 pitch waved out and missed. That's 1-2. Getting later and later in this game. 9:14 p.m. right now, a game that started 2 minutes past 6:45. That's nipped foul back to the protective netting. It's still 1-2 as the at-bat continues. The Blue Sox 14-3 in the month of July. If they win, they'd go to 15-3. Long ways away from being 500, 500. A 1-2 pitch is grounded on a couple of hops to third, and the throw is down the line and couldn't get the out. And Fernsler is safe. They may rule that an error by Streeter.
It looks like they will. The error count under Mohawk Valley goes to 2, so it's the second error committed by the Diamond Dogs today.
Here's McWilliams coming up. 2 for 3. We've talked at length about the game-breaking grand slam he hit in the fourth, his first home run on the year, and how big it was in that game. He takes a strike in his fourth at-bat of the game. He also singled in the third, so eyeing for his third knock of the game after Fernsler reached on an error to open up the bottom of the eighth. The 0-1 from Colin Schneider is outside for a ball, 1-1. The fake throw by Santiago, but he doesn't uncork it. Caleb Miller's on deck, 0 for 2 with a walk. 1 on and none out, and the 1-1. Check to swing, but it's called strike 2. So 2 strikes on McWilliams in the last of the eighth. Then a pickoff attempt by Schneider to first is unsuccessful. Trying to keep Fernsler honest. He's not a super fast player, known for stolen bases, but he can steal if he wants. That's fouled away. Fernsler just 2 stolen bases on the year. He has been caught twice, so 2 for 4 on the year for Bowden. Maybe he'll try and steal his third on this 1-2. He stays put, and that pitch is cut on and missed, and McWilliams strikes out swinging. 1 down. So Jack has struck out his last 2 times up, but he still made a huge impact on this game. Here comes Caleb Miller. Took a base on balls his last time up in the 6th. Before that, a strikeout in the lineout.
Let's keep an eye here on how they elect to attack Miller. He's gotten jammed a couple times, particularly on that lineout where he did make good contact, but it just wasn't enough.
That ball is high and gets to the backstop, leading to an advance to second for Fernsler. So Bowden's just taking advantage of multiple mistakes by Mohawk Valley. An error got him on base to begin with, and now a wild pitch moves him over to second. So a runner in scoring position for Caleb Miller. The 1-0 hits him, and it's a hit by pitch. So it's now 2 on for the top of the order. Here's Flashner. He's walked twice and recorded 2 outs on the game. Blue Sox want to make sure that there's almost no chance for Mohawk Valley to come back in this game. And an RBI hit for Flashner would help with that task. First and second, 1 out in the 8th. First pitch is low and away, ball 1 from Schneider. On deck, Francella at the plate, Flashner. On a chilly night in late July, Blue Sox trying to help their playoff hopes. There's a fly ball to right field, but caught for the out by Dolan. And the runner from second, Fernsler, moves up to third. So a productive out for Flashner, but there is 2 gone. And so it's up to Francella for the Blue Sox to score in this inning.
Francella's been kept pretty silent so far in this game. What a spot this would be here for him to break out and drive in another insurance marker to bring it back to a 5-run game.
Runners on the corners for the Blue Sox. First pitch. Gets the call, strike 1 on a fastball in tight. Just caught the outside corner of the strike zone, and it's 0-1. Francella looking for his first hit of the game in his 5th at-bat. Runner takes off from first. That ball is inside, and no throw to second, a stolen base. Caleb Miller takes second. The Blue Sox have 2 in scoring position. The 1-1 from Schneider. Slashed down the right field line and foul, and it's now 1-2. Blue Sox down 1-0 early. Then got a massive 5-run inning right in the middle of the game in the 4th, tacked on a run in the 5th, and another run in the 7th. The 1-2 pitch coming from Schneider. And down low, ball 2. Fernsler has reached third. Miller has reached second. 2-2 pitch. Outside ball 3. And the at-bat continues. The Blue Sox have 2 in scoring position, and they've done that without the benefit of a hit. An error and a hit by a pitch. And the 3-2 is on the ground to first. A sprawling play by Scanlon, and he takes it to the bag himself for out number 3. We go to the top of the 9th. Blue Sox 3 outs away from victory. We are back. The Blue Sox 3 outs away from a victory. The new pitcher for the Blue Sox is the sidearm specialist Drake Aycock. And he'll face Ryan Payne first in the ninth. The inaugural pitch misses the zone, ball 1. It is Payne, Santiago, and Hardy. 8-9-1 for Mohawk Valley, down 4. The 1-0 pitch backed him in, 2-0.
And Socrates playoff hopes really kind of resting on how this goes right here. Gonna be really tough for them to get back into it if they start dropping games.
It's ball 3 downstairs. Payne is 1 ball away from taking his 3rd walk. Aycock, ready, delivers. Inside, ball 4, and he walked him on 4 pitches. So, not a good way for Aycock's night to start. And that puts Payne on base for the 9-hitter, the catcher Jaden Santiago, who's 0 for 2 with a base on balls. Mohawk Valley, coming into this game, having lost 8 in a row. They have fallen from the top 4, which would be the 4 playoff teams. They've now dropped all the way down to 5 in the East. That ball is high. Now a throw to first is not there on a pickoff attempt. It's now 1-0, the count to Santiago, so 5 pitches, 5 balls for Aycock. So Mohawk Valley just trying to stop the slide. The Blue Sox trying to keep the winning streak going at home. A 1-0 pitch gets the call, 1-1.
So for a little update on the scores around the PGCBL, the most relevant one to this game, Socrates currently leads Oneonta 8-4 in the bottom of the 9. So it looks like the Stallions are going to take that one.
2-1 on a slide by Miller to prevent the ball from going to the backstop.
So unfortunately, it doesn't look like Utica is going to be gaining any ground, at least tonight.
Aycock, 2-1. Missed the zone, 3-1 on a breaking ball away. So now, 7 of Aycock's 8 pitches have been outside the zone. Not a lot of swings either from these batters. Mohawk Valley being very selective. The 3-1 pitch is inside, and he walked him. Back-to-back walks for the Diamond Dogs. And here comes the dangerous Jake Hardy with 2 on base and none out. So not a good way for Aycock's outing to begin. Back-to-back walks to the bottom of the order. And now here is Hardy, 2 for 4 with a single and a double. It's just a 4-run deficit for Mohawk Valley. The Blue Sox have lost a 4-run deficit at home this season so far. We saw that when they gave up 5 to the Glens Falls Dragons back in June. So it's not an unprecedented situation. The Blue Sox infield and pitching staff converge on the mound. They have not swung the bullpen gate open. So I believe Aycock will stay in, but he has a short leash. Drake, the 4th pitcher to take the bump for the Blue Sox. Sangataldo in line for the win. 6 2/3 for him. Then first came in for Vinny in the 7th. Amato pitched the 8th. And here's Aycock trying to close it out in the 9th and having some trouble with control early on. Aycock indeed stays on the mound, at least for now. Facing the leadoff hitter, center fielder Jake Hardy. Kyle Coleman is on deck. And the comeback hopes for the Diamond Dogs are very much alive in the 9th. Aycock leans in, now set. Glove pressed to his chest. First pitch to Hardy is outside, ball 1.
Right now, the Blue Sox just need to get this first out. They can't let Mohawk Valley get too much momentum before they record the first out, because then it's going to be really difficult to stop them.
Aycock got a generous strike 1 call, despite Caleb Miller sliding on the turf. It's 1-1. 2 on base with none gone. And a 1-1 pitch is spoiled foul to the right side, and 2 strikes on Jake Hardy. Man, is this at-bat crucial. Aycock ready. The righty's 1-2. He got him swinging. 1 down. A huge out for Aycock. He settles down the nerves and gets Hardy to chase away. First strikeout for Hardy on the night, and it leads to the first out being recorded in the 9th.
And now this is the part of the lineup that Aycock is going to be happy to see. Sight for sore eyes for Drake Aycock here. 0 for 3 and 0 for 4 coming up, respectively, for Kyle Coleman and Connor Scanlon.
And Coleman and Scanlon are no slouches. These are 2 great hitters, just haven't had great games today. That one's fouled back, 0-1. Coleman has taken a walk in the 7th. That's his only time on base. Previously, 2 flyouts and a ground out for the left fielder. A double play does end the game with 1 out and a runner at first. That pitch is way inside as Coleman tried to bunt, at least was showing bunt. It's 1-1. So Aycock got a big strikeout, still struggling a bit with locating his pitches. But can he let that problem subside and throw his best stuff here down the stretch? The 1-1, swing and a miss. He's getting some swings now, and it's 2 strikes on Kyle Coleman. The 1-2. Into right field. It's hit well. On a leap, Carvelli makes an acrobatic catch for out number 2. 1 out to go for Aycock and the Blue Sox on Pink the Park night. It is up to Scanlon to continue the game. He cannot tie it with 1 swing. The best he can do is a 3-run home run that would make it 7-6. That would be disaster for Aycock. He does not want that to happen. First pitch fouled down the right field line, 0-1. Blue Sox will go on the road for 2 games next, at Amsterdam on the 24th and at Glens Falls the day after, before 1 final home game in the regular season on July 26th. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss, 0-2, and Mohawk Valley's down to their final strike. The Blue Sox trying to beat Mohawk Valley for the 5th consecutive time. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a bouncing grounder. Flashner to second base, got him out, and that's the ball game. The Blue Sox win it. Utica takes down Mohawk Valley tonight by a score of 7-3. The Blue Sox are now 7-0 at Donovan Stadium in the month of July. They're a season high 8 games over 500. They have won 10 of their last 12. What a run for the Blue Sox. Now 24-16 on the 2026 campaign.
Well, Morgan, this was one of the Blue Sox more interesting wins on the year. Their offense wasn't hot for the whole game. They only got hot at a couple certain points, but that was all they needed. Their pitching struggled a little bit, as that's now 8 straight home wins for the Blue Sox. But they're able to get it done in the end. And we've talked about this before, Morgan. The Blue Sox are able to complement each other. When one side of the ball is not having a good game, the other side is able to step up, and that's what we saw today.
The Blue Sox dropped a few at home earlier in the year, and those struggles at Donovan seem so far behind right now. An incredible night, raised over $5,000 for cancer research by auctioning off these special Pink the Park jerseys. It's been a great night with a great crowd, and it's been a really excellent season for the Blue Sox. Well, we will have one more broadcast at home in the regular season, the 26th against Amsterdam. But please tune in on the 24th after the Amsterdam Utica game for episode 2 of Blue Sox Banter as we break down the road game against Amsterdam. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been a pleasure as the Blue Sox shower Jack McWilliams with water. He hit a grand slam tonight, biggest play of the night. For Killian Efron, I'm Morgan Spriggs. Thank you so much for listening. Have a great rest of your Wednesday night. The Blue Sox win it by 4.